guys, welcome back to my channel and to my very first unboxing video. It may seem like I'm coming a little bit late to the game with the Disney Infinity characters now that they're not no longer making them, but I saw these in the shops at a very good price. And I find some of the figures are actually really good little figures, really good little collectibles, and this started out as me just wanting to get one of the figures, and I ended up buying the whole set. So what I'm going to be doing in today's video is not only unboxing these for you, but also at the end I'll put up the price that I've paid for each of them and the stores that I've got them from, and I'll challenge you as well to see if you can get them for a better price. There's a couple of figures I have had to pay a bit more for because they are becoming more and more rare, and that was the Yoda light effects and the Darth Vader light effects. These figures all along here, including this Anakin one, they all light up when you put them on the game pad. So they're a little bit more expensive than the standard figures, but I think it's just a nice little touch to add to them. So today I'm going to be opening all of this lot, and this is the entire Star Wars set. It's every figure you can get, it's all of the light effects figures, it's all of the power discs and the expansion packs as well that include the Star Wars characters. So I'm going to start obviously with the game, and you get the game in here. This is for the Xbox One. You get the game pad, and you get the Ahsoka and Anakin Skywalker from the Clone Wars series, and the game piece as well, which allows you to play that chapter in the game. So here we go. Probably should have put a knife to be able to get through this sellotape, because I have no fingernails to get this open. So it comes in two pieces. So you've got the game disc there that shows, this is the 3.0 version, so it shows the Marvel and the Disney characters there that are part of the new Disney 3.0 extension to the already existing Disney Infinity game. So then we've got a little instruction manual there, just tells you what the contents of the game are. Gamepad here, which is extremely well secure now. There's another instruction manual there. And we've got the gamepad. Now this also works with the Disney Infinity 2.0 and 1.0, the original version. So if you've got any existing games or pieces, this pad will work with them. That doesn't work the other way around. These figures won't work on the 2.0 or the 1.0. And then we've got the figures that come with this. That's all that's in that box. Those. Very well in here, very tight. So we've got the game piece for the Clone Wars set there. And you see it's just got the Rebel insignia, the Jedi insignia, sorry. And then you've got what appears to be half of Darth Maul's lightsaber and Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, if you can see that there. And there's the Jedi insignia on the other side. Okay, so that's the very first piece. We've got Ahsoka. This plastic is very well moulded to each figure. And there we have Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars series, Anakin's Padawan. And they are lovely little figures. You can see you've got the clear plastic on the lightsabers, Unfortunately, they never made a light effects figure of Ahsoka, which is a shame. They said it was due to technical restrictions because she's got two. It was just more, well, they hadn't got the technology to do it at the time. And the same goes for Darth Maul. I think him, Darth Maul, Ahsoka, and Ezra Bridger from the Rebel series are the only figures with lightsabers that were released that don't have the light effects functionality. And we've got the code cards there. So if you're playing this on another device, so if you're playing on the mobile version, which I don't think is available in the UK, you can play any of these characters in that mobile version as well, because obviously the gamepad won't work with them. And then I've got Anakin there. Now I have got another Anakin, which I'll show you later on when I get to that, because he does have a light effects version. So he looks quite cool. I think all of these figures are really well designed, that they all look like they're in motion, like they're in action. The one that initially attracted me to these sets was Boba Fett, so I'll jump to him next, because Boba Fett was the one that I wanted originally. I mean, we all know and love Boba Fett, and he just looks so cool. You know, they've even got the detail in his tattered cape. Let's get him open. That's his card piece. And there he is. You know, they've done a really good conversion of him into like a cartoon stylized character. His mask is slightly flared compared to what it is in the films. He's got his bullet dent in his helmet. You know, he's got all of the logos on there, and he's got some cool textures on his mask as well. I think he's really a really good Disneyfication of his character. You know, they've really done well to convert him into the animated form, which for the Rebel series obviously they haven't had to do, because they've only ever existed in Disney form, in animated form. So those look a lot more closer to their characters, whereas when you get to the film characters that we've only seen really in films, so Luke, Chewie, Han, Poe, and obviously the Force Awakens cast. When you look at Finn looks a lot like John Boyega. They've really done well there to get his likeness. You know, it's got his lips, his nose, his eyes. Whereas when you get to Rey, she looks like a standard Disney princess cartoon. It doesn't look like Daisy Ridley. So if we open it up, you can probably see that better. Get that one open. This is quite a random order I'm opening these in, but there's so many of them I don't think I could just work through in any series order. Card piece, more instructions. So there's the game card to play them in the game. Now these clear pieces here, these are called playset pieces. They're clear plastic as opposed to the coloured plastic of all the others. This is what actually contains the game information. So there is a particular sort of DLC, if you like, for The Force Awakens. And by putting this on the gamepad, you can play that game mode. So you can see there it is just the First Order Stormtrooper helmet with the First Order insignia just there. You can see the light shining through that. I imagine that will happen when you put that game piece on the gamepad. I think the gamepad lights up, so that will light up your clear piece there. So if I take these two out, as I was saying, now that is cool. They do look great, but you can see between the two of them, and it doesn't really capture Daisy Ridley's likeness, but John Boyega's one there, I think, in Finn, looks great. It really looks like him. I think he'd be proud to have that. If I was him, I know I'd be asking Disney to send me those. So, well, if we're doing all the play sets, we'll go on to the original trilogy playset now. You see you get Luke and Leia. Now Leia, as with Rey and Finn actually, I don't think you can buy them individually. Luke you can buy individually because you can get the light effects version of Luke. But Rey and Finn and Leia, I don't think you can buy outside of getting these playsets. Obviously you could purchase them from an auction site, a second-hand shop, which is where I have tried to get some of these figures. For the light effects figures, where they are more exclusive, you can't get new ones of them as easily. I did try to get some, order some for some second-hand shops online. Unfortunately, when they arrived, they were standard versions, so I think that's really a reflection of the staff installed and the stock not being there. I don't think anyone really identifies the difference between the light effects and the standard ones, because if you are getting these, the easy way to identify whether it's a standard one or whether it's a light effects figure, this base here would be black. If it was a light effects figure, it wouldn't be clear. So this is the standard figure for Luke. There, so you can see this one I don't think looks like Mark Hamill at all. It is a Disney version of Luke, but I don't think they've really done him any justice. Now, the figure itself is actually good, but the likeness not so much. That's Luke. This is the Leia. Now Leia I really like. That is a great version of the late Carrie Fisher. And I don't know if you can really see that because the light's shining off of her. But you can see, it's got the classic hairstyle. It's got that classic outfit. It's a really good version of Leia. Really good animated style. And it really makes her look like one of the Disney princesses. I think that's one of my favourites now. As I said, I think Boba Fett was the one I wanted the most. But seeing Leia, I'm really impressed with that. And then we've got, obviously, you could only have one playset piece to go with the original trilogy. And that's the Death Star. You can see they've put some great detail in there. But at the same time, they're simplifying them. They're putting detail in that make these figures look awesome, but they're simplified versions, they're Disney's versions. And they really work. They really work well. So we've got some prequel trilogy, we've got some new trilogy figures open already. We've got the original trilogy. We've got the Clone Wars, so let's go for a Rebels figure. And one of the bigger figures. You can see there's some that are in smaller packs and some that are in these bigger packs. And obviously Zeb Aurelius is one of those big ones. He is a big character. He's actually, if you do watch the series, you may already know this, he's actually Chewbacca's original design. This is one of Ralph McQuarrie's original designs for Chewbacca. They've used it in the Rebels show. They've used a lot of Ralph McQuarrie's original designs for characters in the show, for locations in the show, for droids, for costumes. So that series has been fantastic. Unfortunately, they've just announced that the upcoming 4th series is going to be the last. which is a shame. In a way, as Dave Filoni said, he's getting the opportunity to end it when he wants to end it, rather than being cancelled, as happened with the Clone Wars series. Wow. He's quite a weighty figure, and as I said earlier, obviously he's an animated character. He hasn't existed in any other form. Obviously, we got to see Chopper in live action in Rogue One. Sorry, there's so many Star Wars stories now. I'm confusing the titles of each of them, but you know, none of these characters have ever been seen in live action other than Chopper. Unfortunately, there isn't a Chopper. I'll come to think it, an R2 or C3PO figure. So these ones adapt really well to these figures. They are 3D maquettes of their animated counterparts. So Zeb there, looking really big. And you're standing next to one of these. He's about the same height, but his width, he's almost sort of double the width of some of them. Standing next to Ahsoka there, you can see she's much, much wider. And there are a few characters like that. We've got Darth Maul here. Let's open Darth Maul. Another big character. And like Ahsoka, has two blades on his lightsaber, which means he never got a light effects figure. Again, that's a real shame, because I think he's probably one of the favourite characters to have come out of the prequel saga, unless you're one of those people out there that did actually like Jar Jar Binks. So you probably would have switched off. And there we go, there's Darth Maul, who obviously has appeared in Rebels. For any of you that have been watching it, you'll know that he's been in that quite a lot. He was in the Clone Wars series, so he's, you know, outside of the Phantom Menace, they really made use of him as a character. But this is obviously based on him in the Phantom Menace, and it's quite a good likeness of him. You know, it's got his horns, it's got his tattoos, and it's got, of course, the double-bladed lightsaber, which, if you look at it, and I've had this theory for a long time, these two pieces here on the lightsaber look a lot like Rey's staff. So I think we're going to see that either in Episode 8 or Episode 9. You know, this staff that appeared in all of the advertising media for The Force Awakens, I think it's going to be some kind of heirloom weapon that she's been left with to protect her. So I think we'll find out that that does actually contain lightsaber crystals. It could be a staff, it could be a fighting staff. I know they have existed in the Star Wars world before, so I think we'll see a bit of that. So, another fan favourite from the Rebel series, Sabine Wren. Okay, Mandalorian, who's coming to her own in Series 3 of Rebels. You know, she's really had a good story. She's been a great character since the start, but she's really got her own story now. So it'll be interesting to see where they take that in the next series and how they're going to conclude her story. And you can see she's just standing. She's standing there on a Stormtrooper helmet, which she has marked with the Phoenix Squadron logo, which appeared quite a lot in Rogue One as well. So they are showing that Rebels is really part of canon. You know, these characters are through and through Star Wars characters. Okay, so let's finish off the Rebel characters. We've got two more of them. And the main character from Rebels, you know, the story I think has evolved and revolved, around Ezra Bridger. Who's, I think he's the only character with a single-bladed lightsaber that didn't get a light effects figure. Now, I don't know if that was just a timing thing. You know, if the show got if the game series got cancelled before they had an opportunity to do it, or if they were never planning on doing one. I don't know. But there you go. You can see him there. He's a great version of him. Looks exactly like he does in the cartoon. You know, he's got that logo on the back of his jacket there. He's got the scars on his cheek, and then he's got his lightsaber, which he lost in Series 2, which is also doubled as a blaster, which I thought was a really nice addition to the Star Wars saga. Seeing a lightsaber that wasn't just a sword, you know, it could be used in other ways. The Jedi that are building them, you know, it really shows them coming into their own and becoming, you know, making the most of their main tool. And then this last one here, Kanan Jarrus, obviously voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr. And his wife Sarah Michelle Gellar played the seventh sister, which was obviously a main villain of the second series, of Rebels. And, this is the first light effects figure. Okay. When I said they have the black base, it's actually a black base over the top of that clear base. You can see there's like a black disc there, which obviously houses some kind of electronics that allow that lightsaber there to light up. Now you can obviously get Kanan as a non-light effects figure if you wanted to. I just wanted a complete collection of the light effects figures and all of the other characters. So if you did get one that was non-light effects, you can see there's sort of a ridge at the black base of the lightsaber where it joins the plastic. On the ones that are non-light effects, you don't have that ridge. I'll show you that there on Luke's. You know, it just sort of is a continuous line. On the light effects ones, you can see where the plastic steps in as it joins that clear blade. And obviously that's because it's connected to a bulb at the other end. Again, that's a really nice likeness of Kanan. So, on to the prequel trilogy / original trilogy. Obviously this version of Obi-Wan. If I'm getting it open, this one seems to be a bit tougher. I don't want to break him. As I was saying, this is obviously Obi-Wan, but he's based on his animated version. You can see he clearly looks like the animated Clone Wars version of Obi-Wan. There, he looks very cool, with a very cool stance. Now you can see the motion in his Jedi robes there. Really captured him in his classic pose with his lightsaber ready over his shoulder. You see his lightsaber's a little bit chunkier than you'd get on the standard figure, and that's because it is, again, a light effects figure. You can just see that now. I'm going to stand him there. Wow, you realise how many of them there are. You know, this series unfortunately didn't get a long run before the Disney Infinity line was cancelled by Disney when they decided all of their games were going to be outsourced rather than in-house, and that's why the series finished. Whether they are outsourcing Disney Infinity and whether they will ever bring it back with Disney 4.0, but from an external company, I don't know. We can cross our fingers. We can hold out hope, because these look amazing. These are lovely little collectible figures, and you can see if I get the two here. Just have a look at them. Actually, they've got two different paint effects for their faces. So you can see that the one on the black face is the light effects figure. I don't know if you can see that, but his face has got a lot more detail than this one. It's much better painted than the light effects figure, but you can see the difference in size in their lightsabers. Look how chunkier the light effects figure is there. The hilt of that lightsaber is obviously bigger because it has to accommodate the electronics. And I've also just noticed that on the hilt there's actually black paint on the lightsaber with the light effects figure to replicate the black rubber strips that we have on Anakin's lightsaber, but they're not on the normal figure. So that's interesting. So I'm glad I did go for those. They're a little bit weightier, but it completes that collection. So on to Master Yoda, who has existed in animated form in the Clone Wars, and that's, I think, is purely where this figure has come from. I don't think they've based it on the film at all. And again, he's in a great pose. He's got his lightsaber, so it's obviously not the original trilogy Yoda. Could be the prequel trilogy Yoda, which obviously everyone was up in arms about seeing Yoda fighting with a lightsaber. But you can see his cape, his cloak there, he's sort of twirling in the wind as he's moving, so it really expresses the movement of these characters. And he's actually quite a cute little figure, even though he's got quite a grumpy look on his face. I quite like him. I wasn't too keen on his animated version in the Clone Wars, but as a figure he works. I don't think he would really fit into this series if they based him on the original trilogy Yoda. Plus I don't think you would be able to use him as a fighting character in the game if it was based on the original trilogy Yoda, because just be too old, I think. And then again, have a light effects Luke. So let's just see. Okay, the paint application seems to be identical on this one. Yeah, so these ones seem to be identical, other than the size of the lightsaber hilt. The paint applications are exactly the same as opposed to the Anakin figure. So maybe that was just a one-off that I've got a better light effects Anakin compared to the standard Anakin. And now on to Chewie. Another one of the ones that is in a larger box. So it'd be interesting to compare him to Zeb and see who's bigger, considering Zeb is what Chewie was going to be in the original designs. and Chewie looks brilliant. They've done a great job of converting him into an animated character here. He's got quite slim hips, very slim. He's obviously been on a bit of a diet, but then you look at the detail and the design they've put into his fur, his face there, and obviously his bowcaster. You know, that's massive. That's a huge gun. You realise why Han Solo liked it so much in The Force Awakens. Why it had such a kick. Yeah, I really like Chewie. He's a big figure. He's not as wide as Zeb by the looks of it. Although front to back he is. Yeah. Okay, so see there. Chewie's actually taller. But these were going to be the same. This is the original design for Chewie. How weird is that? Looking at that now, thinking how different Star Wars would have been if they'd gone with that design for Chewie. I don't think he'd be the classic character he's become. So if we've got Chewie, we need his best friend, don't we? We need to have Han. And now Disney have really sort of obviously had to get involved here, design an animated version of Han Solo. And I think they pulled it off. It doesn't look like Harrison Ford, but his expression does look like it's spot on. Wow, that's quite a pile of rubbish now. His expression does look like what we'd expect from Han Solo. Again, the detail. It's such a shame this series finished. The detail in these figures is amazing. Look, he's got the stripe down his trousers there. He's got the detail on his belt. I've just noticed that he's got his communicator on his belt. And I think Luke had a communicator. I think it was the Luke figure. Also had the communicator from A New Hope. So I've really paid attention there, and as you can see, hopefully you can see that the expression on his face really looks like something you'd expect to see from Harrison Ford playing that character. Love that. That's a great figure. I'm realising how much space I'm going to need to display these. So many. I'm amazed. And now obviously on to the villain of the story. Well, the main character, as George would have us believe from the prequels, the story was all about Anakin. As we all know, it's all about Luke. It was an after decision to make the prequels. Got the Vader card there. And this is another one that was in a large box. So let's see. Let's got some weight to him. He looks really cool. The only thing I would say is his breathing, like his mouthpiece. His mouthpiece looks really wide. Like disproportionately wide. It doesn't quite look right to me. But other than that, look at that detail. Now he's obviously doing his force choke there. He's got his cape, and you can see the detail in the cape. It really expresses that movement. And again, you've got quite a large hilt on the lightsaber to accommodate those electronics for the light effects. He's a big figure. I do like him. It's just that mouthpiece that's slightly letting him down. It's a shame they didn't go with the Rebels design. Obviously Vader did appear in the Rebels. They could have adapted him from that. I think that would have been brilliant. So the last of the light effects figures. Kylo Ren, grandson of Vader. Sorry, should have put a spoiler alert there. If you've watched the video this far, he must have seen the figure. So. Oh, that's interesting. It feels like I was expecting him to be more like Vader. Oh wow. His cape is rubbery. Whereas Vader's is rubberized, but it's a lot thicker. And it's you know, it's got all these layers to it. You can see that. Yeah, that I really like that. And you've got his iconic mask, and his iconic cross-bladed lightsaber, which has got a texture to it to replicate the destabilized blade that he has. Yeah, I like that, and you can see the detail in the tatters around his hood. That's why I really wanted to collect these figures before they all disappeared and become extortionate prices. And the last one, the last figure. Poe Dameron, the new best pilot in the galaxy. Obviously his X-Wing pilot flight suit with his helmet in his hand. I really like that. Again, I don't think it looks like him. I don't think it has... I don't know if you can see that. I don't think it really has his likeness. It's a Disney-fied version, but really sort of lacks the detail of some of the others. But I like his helmet. Look at that. It's got a translucent plastic visor, which I think works really well. You can see the Rebel insignia with a line through it, which is odd. Which, if you see it in the film, he has got like a scratch mark through his Rebel insignia. I don't know if that's significant. I don't know if that's a change to the design, but they've captured it in this figure, and that is exactly how it appears in the film. And his holster looks like it would work. It is actually a pocket, which is another really nice detail of these figures. So I like him. Yeah, I really like him. So that's it for the figures, the unboxing of the figures. I don't know if you want to see these power discs opened. I'll quickly open these expansion packs. And then we've got the power disc expansions, which again, you know, I just wanted to complete the entire set of everything Star Wars related. Open. I've got a huge pile of boxes to dispose of now, but I really like them. They all look really, really cool. I'll put up photos at the end of this of each one close up, just so you can see how cool these really look, because I don't know if this video is going to do it. Looks like the flash was sort of playing up on a couple of the figures, but hopefully it came out well. Now I have also got an extra figure. I have got an extra Yoda. And this isn't the light effects one, like this. This was the Yoda I got before I managed to source this. As I mentioned earlier, I got this Yoda. I paid a bit more for him because he was so hard to find. If you find him, go for him. I think I paid about £13 for him. I'll put the prices all up at the end. But if you can find a light effects Yoda, you're doing well. He and Vader as a light effects figure were the hardest to find. Most of the other ones I found in my local Toys R Us. Went to a couple of different Toys R Us and they had different ones. I got a lot of them in one Toys R Us, and then I've just been hunting around to get them. As I say, Yoda, I have an extra one, so I may be giving this away. If you guys respond well to this video, I'll put up some stuff on my Twitter account, Gadget Gang 2017. If you follow me on there, you'll see how I decided to give this away. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Drop a comment, give this a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. You'll get a notification of all my new videos as and when I do them. So thanks for your time, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.